Have you ever noticed how the strongest people in the room are often the quietest? They don't feel the need to announce every plan, explain every decision, or prove their worth to everyone around them. While others are busy seeking validation, they are busy building themselves. In a world that encourages constant sharing, endless opinions, and non-stop noise, Stoic philosophy teaches a different path. Focus on yourself and stay silent. This doesn't mean becoming cold, antisocial, or disconnected. It means protecting your energy, guarding your mind, and directing your attention toward what truly matters, your own growth. The ancient Stoics understood something that many people still struggle to learn today. Every minute spent worrying about what others think is a minute stolen from your own development. Today, we'll explore why focusing on yourself and remaining silent can become one of the greatest sources of strength, confidence, and inner peace. The trap of seeking attention. Many people spend their lives chasing approval. They want others to recognize their intelligence, admire their success, praise their efforts, and validate their choices. The problem is that approval is one of the most unstable things in the world. People change their opinions constantly. Someone who supports you today may criticize you tomorrow. Someone who admires you now may envy you later. If your happiness depends on the opinions of others, your peace will always be fragile. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that we should focus only on what is within our control. The opinions of other people are not within our control. No matter how hard you try, you cannot force someone to understand you, appreciate you, or respect you. What you can control is your character. You can control your actions. You can control your discipline. You can control your response to life's challenges. When you stop seeking approval, something remarkable happens. You become free. Free from anxiety. Free from unnecessary explanations. Free from the exhausting need to impress people. Instead of asking, "What do they think of me?" you begin asking, "Am I becoming the person I want to be?" That question changes everything. Silence is a form of power. Modern society often mistakes loudness for strength. The loudest voice is assumed to be the smartest. The most visible person is assumed to be the most successful. The person who talks the most is assumed to be the most confident. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. True strength rarely needs to announce itself. Think about nature. A storm makes noise. Thunder shakes the sky. But the mountain remains silent. And yet, the mountain is far stronger than the storm. Silent people often possess a unique advantage. They observe more than they speak. They learn more than they reveal. They think before they act. While others are broadcasting their intentions, they are quietly making progress. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic philosophers, advised himself to spend less time talking about what a good person should be and more time becoming one. Those words remain powerful today. Talking about success is easy. Talking about discipline is easy. Talking about goals is easy. Living those values every day is much harder. Silence allows your actions to speak louder than your words ever could. Stop explaining yourself. One of the biggest drains on mental energy is the habit of constantly explaining yourself. Many people feel compelled to justify every decision they make, why they changed careers, why they ended a relationship, why they started a business, why they chose a different path. But here's the truth. You do not need everyone's permission to live your life. The more you explain yourself, the more you invite judgment, criticism, and unnecessary debate. Not everyone will understand your vision. Not everyone is supposed to. The Stoics understood that each person sees the world through their own experiences, beliefs, and limitations. Trying to convince everyone is a battle you can never win. Instead, let your results do the talking. If your path is right for you, time will reveal it. You don't need to argue. You don't need to defend. You don't need to prove. Simply continue moving forward. Confidence grows when you stop seeking validation and start trusting your own judgment. Protect your energy. Your attention is one of the most valuable resources you possess, yet many people give it away freely. They become involved in gossip. They obsess over drama. They follow every controversy. They react to every opinion. They engage in arguments that lead nowhere. At the end of the day, they feel exhausted, frustrated, and distracted. The Stoics would ask a simple question: does this contribute to your character or your purpose? If the answer is no, why give it your energy? Every moment spent focused on someone else's life is a moment not invested in your own. Imagine what would happen if you redirected that energy. Instead of gossiping, you study. Instead of arguing, you train. Instead of complaining, you improve. Instead of comparing, you create. Over time, these small choices compound into extraordinary results. Most people underestimate how much progress becomes possible when distractions are removed. Silence protects your energy because it prevents unnecessary conflicts and keeps your attention focused where it belongs. The power of private growth. There is something powerful about building in silence. Today, many people feel pressured to announce every goal before they have even started. They post their plans. They share their ambitions. They seek encouragement before taking action. While there is nothing wrong with sharing occasionally, there is a hidden danger. Talking about goals can create the illusion of accomplishment. You receive praise for intentions rather than results. The Stoic path encourages a different approach. Work quietly, improve steadily, let progress happen behind the scenes. A seed grows underground long before anyone sees a tree. Likewise, your transformation often begins where nobody can see it. The hours spent reading, the mornings spent training, the sacrifices nobody notices, the discipline practiced in private. These are the moments that shape your future. When success eventually appears, people will call it sudden, but you will know the truth. It was built through countless silent days of effort. Stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy peace of mind. Someone always appears richer, someone seems more successful, someone looks happier, someone appears further ahead. Social media has intensified this problem by allowing people to display only their best moments. The Stoics warned against measuring ourselves by external standards. Why? Because every person is running a different race. Different circumstances, different challenges, different opportunities, different timelines. Comparing your journey to someone else's is like comparing the growth of a rose to the growth of an oak tree. Both grow differently. Both have value. Focus on your own path. The only meaningful comparison is between who you were yesterday and who you are today. Are you becoming wiser, more disciplined, more patient, more resilient? Those are the measurements that matter. When you focus on your own development, envy begins to disappear. You stop competing with others and start competing with your former self. That is where real growth begins. Learn to be comfortable alone. Many people fear solitude. They constantly seek noise, entertainment, or company because silence forces them to confront themselves. But Stoicism teaches that solitude can become one of the greatest teachers. When you are alone, distractions fade. You begin to see your thoughts clearly. You notice your habits. You recognize your weaknesses. You discover your strengths. Growth requires self-awareness, and self-awareness often requires silence. The person who cannot sit alone with their thoughts will struggle to understand themselves. The Stoics regularly practiced reflection. They examined their actions. They reviewed their mistakes. They looked honestly at their character. This practice allowed them to improve continuously. Being alone does not mean being lonely. It means becoming comfortable in your own presence. When you enjoy your own company, you stop depending on others to complete you. You become emotionally independent. And emotional independence is a powerful form of freedom. Let success make the noise. Many people spend years talking about what they plan to accomplish. Very few spend years quietly accomplishing it. The Stoics believed that actions reveal character more accurately than words. Anyone can make promises. Anyone can create an image. Anyone can claim to be disciplined, wise, or successful. But reality eventually exposes the truth. Your actions are your reputation. Your habits are your identity. Your consistency is your proof. When you focus on yourself and stay silent, you remove the pressure to perform for an audience. You stop living for appearances. You start living for results. Eventually, success speaks on your behalf. People notice the transformation. They notice the confidence. They notice the discipline. They notice the achievements. And the beautiful part is that you no longer need their approval because your satisfaction comes from knowing the work you put in. Master your emotions. Remaining silent is especially important during moments of anger. When emotions run high, people often say things they later regret. They react impulsively. They damage relationships. They create problems that could have been avoided. The Stoics understood the importance of emotional control. They knew that anger is temporary, but the consequences of angry words can last for years. Silence creates space between emotion and action. It allows wisdom to catch up with feeling. Instead of reacting immediately, pause. Observe your emotions. Question them. Choose your response carefully. This is not weakness. It is mastery. Anyone can lose control. Few people can maintain composure under pressure. The ability to remain calm when others are emotional is one of the clearest signs of inner strength. Build a life that doesn't need validation. Imagine waking up each morning focused entirely on your purpose, not worried about who approves, not concerned about who doubts you, not distracted by criticism, not dependent on praise. Imagine measuring your success by your own standards rather than the expectations of others. This is the freedom Stoicism offers, a life guided by values instead of opinions, a life directed by purpose instead of popularity, a life rooted in character instead of appearance. When you focus on yourself, your energy becomes concentrated. When you stay silent, your mind becomes clearer. When you stop seeking validation, your confidence becomes stronger. The world becomes less noisy, your priorities become simpler, your path becomes more obvious, and perhaps most importantly, you begin living authentically, not as the person others expect you to be, but as the person you were meant to become. Conclusion: focus on yourself. Stay silent, not because you have nothing to say, but because your energy is too valuable to waste. Not because you're weak, but because true strength doesn't need constant recognition. Not because you fear the opinions of others, but because you've learned they don't determine your worth. The Stoics understood that greatness is built quietly, character is developed privately, discipline grows through consistent effort, wisdom emerges through reflection. While others chase attention, chase improvement. While others seek validation, seek virtue. While others make noise, make progress. Remember this: the strongest tree grows silently, the deepest river flows quietly. And the most powerful transformation often happens where nobody is watching. Focus on yourself, stay silent, keep growing, and let your life become the proof of your philosophy.